There was a time in America when mornings moved a little slower. The smell of coffee filled the house before the sun came up. Families sat together at the kitchen table, not staring at screens, but talking, laughing, planning their day. Radios played softly in the background. The clinking of plates and the sizzle of a hot griddle were the soundtrack to every dawn. Breakfast wasn't just a meal back then, it was a ritual, a moment of connection before the world pulled everyone in different directions. But somewhere along the way, we traded those quiet mornings for hurried commutes and drive-thru windows. So many of the traditions that once defined the American breakfast table have vanished, tucked away in the corners of memory like old photographs in a drawer. Today, we're counting down the top 10 lost American breakfast traditions, the ones our grandparents lived by, the ones that made mornings feel like home. Number 10. The milkman's early morning delivery, the clink of glass bottles on the front porch. Before anyone in the house woke up, the milkman had already been there. He moved quietly through the neighborhood in the early dawn, leaving fresh glass bottles of milk on doorsteps across America. Families didn't go to the store for milk, they simply stepped outside and brought it in, still cold and beaded with condensation. The milkman knew your family, knew how many bottles you needed, and sometimes even left a little extra cream on special occasions. It was a system built on trust and routine, a small but meaningful part of the daily rhythm. Children would race to the door to grab the bottles, and mothers would pour that milk into cereal bowls and coffee cups without a second thought. But as supermarkets grew and refrigeration improved, the milkman's route grew shorter. By the 1970s, the sound of clinking glass bottles fading into the morning mist was nearly gone, and with it, a little piece of neighborhood connection disappeared too. Number 9. Cooking breakfast on a cast iron stove, the heat that warmed the whole kitchen. Long before electric ranges and microwaves, American families cooked breakfast on heavy cast iron stoves that burned wood or coal. These weren't just appliances, they were the heart of the home, radiating warmth that filled the kitchen on cold mornings. A mother or grandmother would rise early to stoke the fire, adjusting the dampers and waiting for the stove to reach the right temperature. Eggs sizzled in well-seasoned skillets, bacon crisped over steady heat, and biscuits baked in the oven compartment with a golden crust that no modern oven could quite replicate. The process took time and attention, but it was part of the morning's meditation, a labor of love that brought the family together. Do you remember watching someone you loved stand at that stove, apron tied, wooden spoon in hand, turning simple ingredients into something that felt like magic? When gas and electric stoves arrived, they promised convenience and speed, and most families gladly made the switch. But those old cast iron stoves, with their gentle crackle and even heat, took with them a certain kind of patience and presence that we don't often find in kitchens anymore.
Number 8. The family sitting down together every morning. A table set for everyone, no exceptions. There was an unspoken rule in many American households. Breakfast was not something you grabbed on the run. The table was set, the food was ready, and everyone sat down together before the day began. Fathers read the newspaper, mothers poured coffee and juice, children fidgeted in their chairs but stayed put until everyone was finished. Conversations happened naturally, plans for the day, reminders about chores, little jokes that only made sense to the people in that room. It wasn't always perfect or peaceful, but it was consistent, a daily gathering that grounded the family. Breakfast was where you checked in with each other, where you knew, even for just 20 minutes, that you all belonged to something bigger than yourselves. But as work schedules shifted, school started earlier, and life accelerated, that shared breakfast table became harder and harder to protect. One by one, families began eating in shifts, grabbing toast on the way out the door, skipping the meal entirely. The tradition didn't disappear overnight, but slowly, quietly, it slipped away. and many of us didn't realize what we'd lost until it was already gone. Number 7. Making oatmeal from scratch on the stovetop. The slow simmer that filled the morning with comfort. Oatmeal wasn't something that came in a packet or a cup you microwaved for 90 seconds. It started with whole oats, water or milk, a pinch of salt, and a pot on the stove. Mothers and grandmothers stood over that pot, stirring occasionally, watching the oats soften and thicken into a creamy, steaming bowl of warmth. It took 15 or 20 minutes, sometimes longer, but that time wasn't wasted. It was part of the rhythm of the morning. The smell alone was enough to wake the rest of the house, a gentle invitation to come to the table. Toppings were simple: brown sugar, a pat of butter, maybe some cinnamon or raisins if you were lucky. There was no flavoring packet, no artificial sweetness, just the honest, wholesome taste of oats cooked with care. Eating that oatmeal felt like being wrapped in a blanket, especially on cold winter mornings when the world outside was frozen and gray. But as instant oatmeal hit the shelves in the 1960s and life got busier, fewer and fewer families had the time or patience for the slow stovetop method. The convenience was undeniable, but something essential was lost: the quiet ritual, the care, the feeling that breakfast was worth taking your time for.
Number 6. The Sunday tradition of pancakes or waffles. The one morning we went all out. Weekdays were for toast and cereal, but Sunday was different. Sunday was the morning families slowed down, slept in a little, and gathered for a breakfast that felt like an event. Pancakes and waffles weren't everyday foods. They were special, reserved for the one day when there was time to do it right. Batter was mixed from scratch, griddles were greased and heated, and the whole house filled with the smell of something sweet and golden browning to perfection. Fathers sometimes took over the spatula, flipping pancakes with exaggerated flair while children watched and cheered. Maple syrup was poured generously, butter melted into every crevice, and second and third helpings were encouraged. These weren't just meals, they were memories being made in real time, moments that would stay with you long after you left home. Do you remember sitting at that table, syrup-sticky fingers and a full belly, feeling like nothing in the world could be better than this? As the years went on, brunch restaurants and frozen waffles made the homemade Sunday breakfast less necessary. Families still ate together sometimes, but the magic of that slow, sacred morning tradition began to fade, replaced by speed and convenience that could never quite capture the same feeling. Most people today have never tasted the difference, but for those who have, the memory lingers like sunshine on a winter morning. Number 5. Fresh squeezed orange juice every morning. The juice that tasted like sunshine. Before cartons of juice lined refrigerator shelves, orange juice meant oranges, real ones, cut in half and pressed by hand or with a simple glass juicer. Families who could afford it made fresh squeezed orange juice a part of their morning routine, a bright, tangy burst of flavor that no store-bought version could match. It took effort, rolling the oranges on the counter to soften them, cutting and squeezing, straining out the pulp if you preferred it smooth. But that effort was part of what made it special, a small act of care that turned a simple drink into something memorable. The taste was different too, sweeter, brighter, more alive than anything that came from concentrate. Children who grew up with fresh squeezed juice remember it as a luxury, a sign that mornings mattered, that someone cared enough to take the time. But when frozen concentrate arrived in the 1940s and refrigerated cartons became standard in the 1960s and 70s, the hand juicer was quietly retired to the back of the cupboard. Convenience won, as it so often does, and the morning ritual of squeezing fresh juice became a relic of a slower, more deliberate time. Most people today have never tasted the difference, but for those who have, the memory lingers like sunshine on a winter morning.
Number 4. Buttering toast at the table with real butter. The simple pleasure we took for granted. Toast was never fancy, but it was fundamental, a staple of the American breakfast table that appeared every single morning without fail. Bread was sliced thick from a bakery loaf or a homemade batch, toasted until golden and crisp, then brought to the table still warm. Butter came in a dish, not a tub, and it was real. Cream churned into something rich and yellow that melted into the toast the moment it made contact. Spreading that butter was almost ceremonial, a small, satisfying task that everyone did for themselves. You could see it melt, pooling into the crevices, turning each bite into something comforting and complete. Sometimes there was jam or marmalade, sometimes just butter and nothing else, because that was all it needed. The act of buttering your own toast at the table was part of the experience, a moment of control and participation in the meal. But margarine arrived, marketed as healthier and cheaper, and real butter lost its place on many American tables. Then came pre-buttered toast, microwavable options, grab-and-go breakfast bars that required no plate, no knife, no sitting down at all. The ritual disappeared so gradually that most of us didn't notice it was gone until we tried to remember the last time we actually buttered toast at a breakfast table, surrounded by family, with nowhere else to be. Number 3. Bacon and eggs cooked fresh every morning, the smell that woke up the whole house. There was a time when bacon and eggs weren't a weekend treat or a diner luxury. They were what you ate for breakfast, plain and simple, almost every single day. The smell of bacon sizzling in a cast-iron skillet was the alarm clock for many American families, a rich, savory aroma that drifted through hallways and pulled people out of bed with the promise of something good waiting in the kitchen. Eggs were cracked fresh, fried or scrambled to order, their yolks bright yellow and their whites set just right. Bacon came in thick slabs, crisped to perfection, grease soaking into a folded paper towel on the side of the plate. It wasn't about health trends or calorie counts. It was about fuel, about starting the day with something substantial and satisfying. Families ate together, passing the salt, sharing the morning paper, grounding themselves before the chaos of the day began. Do you remember that plate in front of you, steam still rising, the taste of fresh eggs and crispy bacon making everything feel right with the world? But as medical advice shifted, as microwaves and toaster ovens replaced stovetop cooking, and as mornings grew more rushed, bacon and eggs became less practical, less frequent, less central to the American breakfast. The tradition didn't vanish entirely, but it became something you had to choose, something you had to make time for, rather than the default way every morning began.
Number 2. Percolated coffee brewing on the stove. The sound and smell that meant morning had arrived. Long before automatic drip machines and single-serve pods, coffee was made in a percolator, a simple metal pot that sat on the stovetop and filled the house with the unmistakable sound of bubbling, burbling anticipation. You could hear it from the other room, that rhythmic gurgle as the water cycled up through the grounds and back down, growing darker and stronger with every pass. The smell was powerful, rich and comforting, a signal that the day was beginning and someone was already awake, already taking care of things. Making percolated coffee required attention. Too long and it turned bitter, too short and it was weak. But that attention was part of the ritual, part of what made the first cup so satisfying. Families gathered around the table as the pot finished, pouring steaming cups into mismatched mugs, adding cream and sugar to taste, cradling the warmth in their hands as they eased into the morning. Coffee wasn't something you grabbed on the way out the door. It was something you sat down for, something you shared. But electric coffee makers promised speed and consistency, and they delivered. The percolator was packed away, its bubbling song replaced by the quiet drip of automation. Most people don't miss what they never knew, but those who remember that sound, that smell, that slow, deliberate start to the day, they know something irreplaceable was lost.
Number 1. The full sit-down breakfast as the most important meal.
The morning feast we built our days around. At the top of our list is the tradition that encompassed all the others, the belief, deeply held and widely practiced, that breakfast was the most important meal of the day, not just nutritionally, but culturally, emotionally, spiritually even. Mornings in America once revolved around a full sit-down breakfast, a meal that took time, required effort, and brought the entire family together before the world pulled them apart. The table was laden: eggs, bacon, toast, juice, coffee, oatmeal, fruit, whatever the season and the budget allowed. Everyone had a place, everyone had a role, and everyone understood that this wasn't just about eating, it was about connection, about starting the day grounded in something bigger than yourself. Breakfast was when plans were made, when advice was given, when parents checked in and children felt seen. It was the anchor of the day, the foundation everything else was built on. But as the decades passed, as both parents entered the workforce, as commutes grew longer and schedules tighter, that sacred morning hour became harder and harder to protect. Breakfast became something you squeezed in, something you skipped, something you ate alone in the car or at your desk. The ritual collapsed under the weight of modern life, and with it, a certain kind of togetherness, a certain kind of peace slipped quietly into memory. We gained efficiency, we gained flexibility, but what we lost was the unhurried morning, the shared table, the feeling that we had time for each other before the rest of the world made its demands. These traditions didn't disappear because they weren't good. They faded because life changed, because the world moved faster, because we traded rituals for convenience and never quite realized what we were giving up. But the memories remain, don't they? The smell of bacon in the morning, the sound of coffee percolating, the taste of fresh squeezed orange juice, the feeling of sitting at a table with the people you loved most, with nowhere else to be and nothing more important to do. Those mornings shaped us, grounded us, gave us something to carry forward even as the world kept changing. If any of these traditions stirred something in you, if you remember your own family's breakfast table and the way it felt to start the day surrounded by warmth and routine, we'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Share your memories with us. What did breakfast look like in your home? And if you enjoyed this journey back in time, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more stories from the America we remember, the one that lives on in photographs and recipes and the quiet corners of our hearts. Thank you for watching, and may your mornings always carry a little of that old magic.